We actually don't need other people to change for us to be okay.
Accepting your own doubt allows you to not get angry at others who doubt you.
Actually, confidence is the embracing of doubt on some level.
Dignity is literally self-acceptance and knowing that whatever other people perceive you as doesn't have to affect the way that you perceive yourself. Because I was so constricted and like did not embody my sexuality at all, I would say at that point, really, I felt like I needed to show that side of myself only through sex. I just feel like my sexual experiences started from shame.
I'm Catherine, and welcome to The Spiritual Gem. The purpose of this podcast is to demystify the inner work, to normalize vulnerability as a measure of bravery, and to teach you the transformational tools so that you can shed the layers of anxiety, depression, unworthiness, self-doubt, and walk this planet with the lightness, the joy, the clarity that is your natural essence. In each episode, you'll meet one of my private clients as they reveal their deepest traumas, inner woundings, limiting beliefs, so that you can see in real time what it looks like to truly heal by going within and meeting these inner parts with the love, with the medicine that they need. It fills me with life having these paradigm-shifting conversations, and I'm so excited to have you here. Hi, babe, and welcome back to The Spiritual Gem. We have with us Fjorda for her second session.
Yes, hello, everyone. I'm really grateful to be here. I feel like I got a lot out of my first session, and it's been a little bit of time in between, but I feel like it was super divine because I got to practice some of the skills that we talked about, as well as kind of hone in on some other stuff that I feel like I would love to express and, grow from.
Yeah, I know you mentioned there's been some things that have transpired with your relationship with your mom. Mm-hmm. So for anyone who didn't see the first episode, we'll do a little recap. We were working with your relationship with your mom and this essence of like her not approving of your decisions and how that was making you feel.
Yeah, so my mom, and she, throughout my life, I didn't realize she was doing this, but she's always expected a lot out of me and also has these expectations of how she wants my life to go. And when my steps that I take don't really match that desire that she has for, my success or my happiness, she tends to say things that kind of bring me down and make me not want to pursue whatever I'm pursuing. And she still does this to this day, but she has so much evolved based on my energy towards her, which I believe was something that actually shifted, and that was due to our last session, amongst other things. But one example is I just got a job working at a massage studio that also does facials and then other physical medicine modalities. And I'm in naturopathic medical school. And my initial desire was to find a job at a naturopathic clinic so that I could kind of get my foot in the door and see how that works, so that when I graduate in a year, one, I could have more connections with naturopathic doctors, as well as have more practice, working in the outside world with medicine like that. But when I saw this job at a massage place, it was very much aligned because physical, I know that the body holds a lot of our disease. And so dis-ease in the body is what kind of happens and manifests. So I thought it would be a great thing for me to work there. And right away, her response was a massage place, because it just didn't seem like exactly what I had envisioned and exactly what she ultimately had envisioned, which did bring up this wait, she's kind of right. I don't want to eventually work at a massage place. But instead of being angry with her, I was very just accepting of what she said. And I was I completely see why you're concerned. But as you know, I do want to also practice doing PRP facials, which is like the platelet rich plasma. And I was expressing to her that, hey, this place like does facials, but they can't do the blood draws and that kind of stuff with facials. So they actually don't have someone that could do those kind of facials. So it's cool that I get to be there, and possibly like when I get my license, I can provide that here. And I gave her these little inspirational stuff that I see about my work and how I envision it. And then I was just like, also, I didn't really call for you to give me advice on it. I just genuinely want to connect with you and like share this excitement. And right away she shifted. Like I was asking her about plans she had, and literally our conversation, which in the past would have been me being like, you always want to be negative, and like, why do you always want to put negativity towards me? And I didn't. And I thought about you when you said like, if you have a conversation with your dad or someone, it's like you have these like limits where it's like you're not gonna invite certain types of conversations in because you just don't want to go there. And that's kind of what I did, and it was really, really helpful.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's so good. I know it was like a long way of getting to the point, but
but it brings us into the story. So and that was the pattern of you making decisions, her meeting that decision with resistance and like questioning, being like, wait, why are you doing that? And then you would go into the pattern of defensiveness and like getting upset and using that as like inflation. And what I hear was different is that you actually softened into it, and you were like, yeah, I know it is kind of weird that I'm at a massage place. And, you know, these are the reasons that I am. And I ultimately think that it will be beneficial for me. But honestly, that's not even why I wanted to talk to you. Exactly. So I'd love to talk about your plants or what else, wherever else the conversation went.
Yes, you explained it really well. And yeah, I just realized with a lot of different people in my life that's shifted too, where it's like, instead of expecting that they're going to play every role, like some people play different roles in our lives, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, just because I'm working on being super accepting of like whatever the universe brings my way doesn't mean like that's what my mom's working on right now. So instead of like being angry that other people are not doing it right in your terms, you just have to accept them, which I'm going to forget this point I want to add. This brings me to this point that I also realized recently with like how a lot of times we want to teach others like how to be. And that comes from a wounded place, because we believe that like what we're doing needs to be right. So then we want to tell people like, hey, do it this way so that you can get confirmation that like your belief or whatever is correct. So instead of letting them get to that on their own, like, of course we want to help people and teach them, and like both you and I seem to like be into that work, but instead of like forcing it on them, you have to trust like, I'm sharing this because of my own experience, but I'm not gonna like get mad that you're not there yet, because I don't need the confirmation from you that this is correct.
Yeah, that is a whole phase of growth on the spiritual path, is trying to make other people change. And it's a phase, it's a stage. It doesn't last. Well, it doesn't last mainly because it's just exhausting. It's so exhausting to be trying to change people and to be in that resistant energy. And really, it only takes one person to bring peace to a family. It only takes one person to bring peace to a relationship. We actually don't need other people to change for us to be okay. And that is the lesson that's like after that stage and phase of growth. It's like, oh, actually, I can completely accept my mom, my dad, my brother for their spiritual beliefs and their outlooks on life. It doesn't take anything from me. And when I love them, regardless, I'm teaching them also how to love me. And like in that, there is so much healing for both people.
Yes, I love that you said that about like teaching them how to love you, because it's like if you are, let's say, angry with your parent, which I've been, of like, why can't you accept me how I am? Like, why don't you love me how I am? But then you're like, I wasn't loving them how they were, because I would yell at them when they wouldn't be how I wanted them. So it's like, I completely like love that this is where this conversation's headed, because that is the phase that you're talking about. That's the phase that I actually just got over. Probably like I mean, in the last year or two, I've been slowly getting over it, but I feel like now is like really where I'm stepping more into my power because I'm kind of getting over that like desire to help people change.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like what's the word? Evangelical. I want to like, that's what I want to name it. Like being the evangelist. It's like it's like you're waking up and you want everyone to know about the things that you're seeing, but people can't wake up before they're ready. And it's their own journey, and that there's actually control in that. There's actually so much control in needing other people to heal, needing other people to wake up. It's like, bless you on your journey, and I'm okay regardless. And of course, there is an opportunity to bring in boundaries, which I do, and I just did again with my dad a couple weeks ago. And I was like, hey, I would love to open up a dialogue with you. However, I will only be responding to messages that are rooted in love and encouragement. And he just like, it was actually in a group chat. He didn't say anything back. And like the next, whatever, couple days, he said like something completely different. And it was like, okay, great. Message received.
Wow. Yeah. The boundary thing is something that I think is like my main focus with my family right now, because I used to talk to them like every single day and now I don't anymore. And sometimes I'll just even get in my head like, are they thinking about me, or like, are we getting less and less close? But I'm realizing that it's actually making us closer when we're not arguing multiple times a week.
I agree.
So.
Sometimes it's better to have space. Sometimes it's better for your relationship to have space. I remember when I moved to Chicago, I was travel nursing, and I was with, that's where my brother and some other people in my family were living. We had so much more conflict in those like few months, because then there's expectations, and like they're unspoken expectations, and then you're not doing what I thought you would do. And then now I have like opinions and judgments about whatever. And I'm like, I'm gonna go across the country.
It's funny. My family's in Chicago like area too.
Oh yeah. I'm from Springfield, Illinois.
Oh my God.
Where are you from?
I went to school in Champaign, Illinois, but
cool.
I'm from Naperville, Illinois, so a little close to Chicago.
Yeah, I know where that is. My dad went to U of I.
Wow.
So
I love it when
similarities.
Right?
Synchronicities
for sure. I love when that happens.
And just for context, we now live in Los Angeles and San Diego. So very
exactly. Like just to clarify, but I'm really happy being here.
Yeah, what I wanted to highlight too before, when I said message received, I meant that he received my message, not that I received a message from him. And to also highlight because this can be so nuanced when we aren't accepting people in their non-acceptance. I know, you kind of got to like think about that one for a second.
So you think you shouldn't accept them in their non-acceptance?
No, you should.
Okay.
The pain that you feel actually happens when you are closing your heart, when you are moving into resistance and non-acceptance.
Yes.
When you're in whatever kind of conflict or relationship dynamic. So for example, when my dad, he sent a message that was not an acceptance of me, of something that I was saying. And there was like some criticism and like some sarcasm in there. And I had the option of either I cannot accept his non-acceptance, which that would be conflict. That would be, now I'm getting defensive. You're meeting me with armor up. I'm meeting you with armor up. Or I have the option to meet your non-acceptance with acceptance. And say, yeah, I know that you disagree with this, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. And if you're curious, if you'd like to have a conversation about this topic, that'd be cool. I'd be open to that. And I will only be responding to messages that are rooted in love. So I'm accepting him. I'm not criticizing him for criticizing me, but I'm also putting up the boundary that I'm not available for criticism and jabs at something that's important to me.
And that comes with also accepting yourself for who you are enough to where someone's saying something about it that isn't fully accepting doesn't really, ruin your experience with it, which is something I used to struggle with because I used to doubt my decisions a lot. And then I would be so angry. I mean, even with choosing naturopathic medicine, like I was on the route to do MD, all this stuff. And I completely switched because I just saw that I wanted to help myself and others see that the body is capable of healing itself if you remove the obstacles that are hindering it from doing so. And that's something that I didn't think I could get from my MD degree. And so, but at first, because I doubted it so much, anything my parents would say would be like the end of the world. And now it's just an opportunity to like open their eyes. And if they don't want it, then it's like, okay, well, I already know this works, so I don't need to convince them. I just like, would love to open, like we said, like you can want someone to be accepting, but you can't force them to. So if you're like, okay, I accept that you don't love this, that's okay. It just makes me sad deep down because I'm like, I hope that they don't get like some kind of disease or something that their resistance wouldn't allow them to be open to all kinds of medicine, but we can't, that's fear, right? On my part, I don't need to fear that.
So I want to, again, highlight what you just said, because this is huge. This is pivotal. Okay. People evoke the energy that they are bringing to us. So that non-acceptance or that doubt, they're evoking our own doubt and non-acceptance of ourselves. Yeah. And that's where the anger comes from. But when you work with the doubt, when you do the inner work, and when you move into this state of like, I'm good. I'm good. And I feel solid in my decisions. And even if I don't feel solid in my decisions, I'm willing to follow this path for a while and just find out. Yeah. It softens, because your reaction to your own doubt, your reaction to your own resistance and non-acceptance isn't with defense and with anger. So then when other people meet you in that way, you're not angry at them. You're able to love and accept them in their non-acceptance.
Yes, I love this. And I want to highlight the part with like accepting your own doubt allows you to not get angry at others who doubt you, basically. Yeah. Right? So
I want like high five.
High five. Good. Because that's something that's just like practical. I always love getting little snippets of very practical things to practice when people are speaking, whether it's a podcast or like you're live or whatever it is. It's like really like helping others see, and myself, that there's little things we can do that make the big stuff possible. So you can't figure out how to completely handle your parents or family or friends like doubting you, but you can practice how you react to your own doubt, because we all have it. Like that's literally why we get triggered, because of our own shit.
Yeah, like everyone navigates doubt on some level, and I feel like actually confidence is the embracing of doubt on some level. Because if you are so polarized into no, I'm confident in my decisions, then you're not able to, sometimes doubt is healthy. You're like suppressing, resisting that part within you, which creates which creates a lot of friction within you.
Sorry to cut you off. It makes you one of those people who, and I don't want to label people, but like it's that energy of like, I know everything, I can't
like arrogance.
Learn. Yes, arrogance.
Yeah. And actually in sometimes humbleness, people can be like so humble that they become arrogant within the humbleness.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like people can be so, maybe it's the same thing. I think confidence and self-doubt probably works the same way. I'll have to think about that longer. Yeah. Like the embracing of self-doubt actually helps you become more confident. And actually I want to think through this. If I'm so confident, could I be so confident that I'm doubting myself? Could I be so, well, where does doubt come from? It comes from insecurity. Okay, so that would make more sense. You could be someone, if someone is so far polarized in confidence in superiority, that is actually on the spectrum of unworthiness. Superiority and inferiority are on the same spectrum of unworthiness. It's the same root of low self-worth. So that would make sense if you're like, no, I'm confident, I'm superior, do not see me in any other way. Within that is a lot of insecurity.
Oh yeah, because you're like, oh, I cannot imagine feeling less than superior because that would make me feel less than, which is a fear of being insecure, which I think comes from insecurity. But I actually do want to look into this more, into my own brain with that.
Yeah, I think I need to like write some more and do some exploring.
Well, because what you're saying is like you're so confident, but by confident, you're referring to that like, oh, don't doubt me. Like I know everything. But then it's like, why do you want so badly to know that you know everything?
Yeah, I think that someone who is truly confident would be able to receive feedback that they're not, they're not doing something well, or that something needs to be changed. And if you have unhealed wounds around unworthiness and insecurity, you're not going to be able to receive feedback and criticism. It's going to, make you go into some kind of trigger and pattern. Hi, babe. Coming in here to say that if you like my energy, if you vibe with my teachings, get on my newsletter list. Some people use their newsletter as like a glorified sales page. Mine is more like an intimate look into my life, into my deepest teachings. It is where I share my heart. It is where I share my greatest insights and really my daily curriculum of what I'm learning. I bring that directly to you in your inbox. So go to the show notes and we can connect.
I love this so much. Thank you for opening up this conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's these kinds of things that I want to work with even, in my career, which I actually, whenever that aligns for us right now I want to talk about
I'd love to.
Like where I want to go how I want to go about my career as a naturopathic doctor. It's coming up. It's in a year that I'm going to be licensed. And I have this like thing about it because of course, like I believe that all the modalities that we learn are important, like diet and, hydrotherapy, other like physical medicines, botanical medicine, even some sorts of pharmaceuticals. We learn all of that. And I do plan to kind of integrate everything into my practice. But one huge thing that I want to work with is like embodiment of the feminine and specifically the wild feminine, because in my healing journey, that has been the most important thing. Like me dancing when I'm stressed or in the middle of like a really big chaotic moment, if I dance and just like really express myself in whatever way, whether it's like sexual dancing, like quote unquote, which is literally just me moving my hips, but whatever is perceived as that, or whatever it is, like that has been so healing for me. And in terms of like the whole judgment thing and not worrying about being judged, posting my dancing videos has literally helped me more than like, I would say anything else, and just accepting that whole like, wait, I'm insecure about this. And I know that some people are going to think this is cringy, but I'm going to post it anyway. And that in itself is healing. So what I've struggled with recently is like, I have people from my school, like even doctors and stuff follow my page. And for a while, I like wouldn't even tell them my name on social media because I would be worried that they'd be like, oh God, like she's like so professional at school or wherever. And then like, why is she posting herself like dancing in her room, you know? But I literally want to work with that. Like when I'm in a clinic or whatever, I want to have different classes and different like protocols for patients to be able to embody that part of themselves and be able to be in that like unapologetic state. And in order to do that, and in order to help women who, have hormonal imbalances and like struggle with different things in their actual lab work that I think could be fixed. And I don't want to use the word fixed, but could evolve through these practices. I cannot be giving people this advice if I'm not doing it myself. So that's why that's been a huge part of my practice right now. However, it's bringing so much of this like doubt in me because people could literally see it. Like someone the other day was like, and they're like chill and they know me and stuff. And they're like, oh, what's it called when it's thirst trapping or like whatever, and they're like, LOL, I'm kidding, but it's a hot video. And I like went into this like, that's not why I'm doing it, blah, blah, blah. But then it's also that like acceptance of actually as a woman, you have to like, it's okay to be watched and to be appreciated and admired. And that's part of the medicine too. So that's another thing it's taught me.
Yeah.
But and I'll close this point off soon. But yeah, with all of this, I'm struggling to fully accept it in myself, and also struggling to kind of like make it known that is like, I don't want to like tell people like I posted this because of this, because that defeats the purpose. I have to accept that people are going to perceive it in the way they want. However, I do want to kind of see how I want to go about this in order to really like, just own it and help others own it themselves, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So we can go into this. We'll work with the doubt, or we'll work with the feelings, and maybe we'll get into some strategy. Okay, so what I think that I'm hearing is that you're in naturopathic school, and something that you are wanting to bring in with your practice once you launch your own practice is this piece around like healing the wounded feminine.
Yes. Okay,
cool. And so that feels pretty clear. What I'm picking up as an opportunity for us to go into is around like doubting yourself, that is like an acceptable path for you to take. And maybe the way that going back to the theme of the earlier conversation, like the acceptance of other people's non-acceptance, or maybe not even non-acceptance, but sometimes maybe just like not understanding what you're doing.
Yes. And I actually wanted to add this piece with like the whole mother wound, because I think that one of the main reasons why I doubt that, and I don't want to blame my mom or even just anyone, but it's like, I know that if my mom saw these videos, she would literally be so ashamed of me.
Okay.
And so for me, it's like, of course I doubt that, because my embodiment of the feminine is literally something that I think would be shamed, or the feminine that literally birthed me would feel ashamed to see it. So of course, for me, it's like that, like literally like I came into the earth because of this woman, and this woman does not accept my womanness.
Yeah, your womanness, which I mean, she probably doesn't accept her own.
Exactly, which that's why I said I forgive her, and it's not her fault. I just want to heal that piece, because it's like, I can tell that it leaks into all these other stuff. And and I really think that healing that will allow me to help other women even more.
Yeah. And a lot of this is sacral chakra, which is where a lot of shame lives. It's like particularly shame around sexuality and sexual expression. And it's like, that's who birthed you. And, I think I've read some spiritual texts that talk about the exchange of energy and like the very unseen and nuanced things in pregnancy, that the baby receives way more than we even know and think that it does from the mother. Like it receives, and I hate to say, but like it receives their wounding. Oh yeah. It's like scientific too. Like, I mean, all of this is, but I used to do epigenetic research, and it literally, like, that was the first time where I started to forgive myself. This was like in undergrad, where I was like, wait, okay, I don't need to feel like I'm literally like messed up because of this. Like I genuinely
was affected by my mom's pregnancy, which she says was totally fine. She's like, you were fine before like you decided to do your own stuff. Like you were fine with me, but it's her own stuff that she doesn't even realize, like the stress she was under and like the way that she wasn't even able to embody her feminine whatsoever when she was pregnant with me specifically. So.
And it's like the culture and the society, the day and age that, you know, our parents were pregnant with us. I think we're around the same age. And it was just way less accepted to do any kind of healing work, to do any kind of trauma healing, trauma completion, all of this. Like we have grown so much in just the last few decades as far as what's acceptable in terms of like psychology and spirituality, and especially us being born in the Midwest and like, we're gonna go over to California now.
And just be able to embrace this weirdness.
Because sometimes, it's weird in comparison to people in the Midwest. It's actually like so extremely natural. It's not normal, but it's extremely natural to want to express ourselves and to want to also heal.
And I do think 100%. And that's what I mean by weird. It's like, you know, just something that is not the quote unquote norm there. And especially in my culture, I'm Albanian, and it's very much about like being this respectable woman, having dignity and all these things that I've learned. Dignity is literally self-acceptance and knowing that whatever other people perceive you as doesn't have to affect the way that you perceive yourself. That's dignity to me, not dignity of like, I have dignity, so I'm going to hide myself just so that you can accept me. That's actually quite the opposite. But another thing that comes up with all of this is like, I do believe that in order to succeed fully, I need to not judge other women. And I think from my own fear of being judged, even though I've done so much work on this and like the whole like expressing myself has been something that I've been working on for quite a few years now, I still notice myself having like certain types of archetypes with women, certain archetypes that I still judge deep down. I don't voice it. I don't want to admit it. And I still will naturally want to like put judgment on them. And that I don't think could change until I fully, detach from this judgment that I feel from the feminine myself. And I do, though, as I was saying this, I kind of felt like I didn't fully believe what I was saying, because I do think that it can go both ways. Like me practicing not judging other people can help me not judge myself and vice versa. But I do think that ultimately it does start from within. It
does. I used to be so judgmental of other people in just like every area because I was so insecure with so many things within me. And that was a huge path of awakening, was paying attention to the way that my mind would just be wilding out against other women and like be like analyzing and like, you know, looking at like the way that she's wearing that and the way, and like, especially with pretty women, especially with women, even to women who are like overweight or even not like overweight, just like a little bit bigger. Cause I had an eating disorder and I had a lot of physical body issues. So that was just always getting projected onto other people. So that was a huge path of awakening for me to notice the way that I judge other people was a direct reflection of what I was insecure of within myself and how I judged myself.
Wow.
And now I love myself so much. I'm like, you're so sweet.
And you love yourself more when you like are sweet to others and about others in your head. Because you could be sweet like in person, but you know how you are. So it's like if you notice yourself being loving towards other women and just people in general, then you start to love yourself even more because you're like, I'm actually a good person and not like this.
Yeah. You know, I can't remember the last time I felt like critical or judgmental of another person, especially another woman, based on her looks or based on her expression. And that is such confirmation for me on the depth of healing that I've done within myself. You know, if you're twerking, if you're like looking fine and you're like getting it, I'm like, yeah, girl. You know?
I love that so
I'm
much.
like, more, keep going.
Yes.
And before, you know, maybe I'd be like, yeah, she really wants attention.
That's what I don't want to be. And that's why I keep showing up the way I am. Like literally the other day I saw a video that this like dance studio posted of these girls twerking. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm inspired. So I went to my room and recorded myself doing it. And I was like, thanks. Madhouse Dance is amazing. I'm giving him a shout out. But I was like, thanks, Madhouse. And I noticed after I was judging myself for doing it, but I hadn't judged them. I literally was like, oh, amazing, let me go like twerk, because I saw them do it on Instagram. But maybe because they're like a dance company, I thought that was like normal. I don't know. But when I posted it, I was so scared that people were going to think that I am just doing it for attention. That's what triggered that thought. When you said attention, it's like, but so that's why I noticed it's like, it's not always because I'm judging other people. I feel like it's actually because I judge myself that I judge others. But then sometimes I actually don't judge others and still judge myself.
Yeah, that's still progress.
Yeah,
though.
that is. That's
progress.
why it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I am not fully confident. And that's another point I want to make. It's like, maybe you aren't fully there with your confidence, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do the thing that makes you feel scared. So for me, even though I'm not fully there to feel like, oh my God, I posted this and I know why I did, and I don't care if other people think it's, you know, a thirst trap. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm not there. And I think like maybe others will think this is a thirst trap, but I'm still going to do it because I know what it's about, and it helps me feel good. What
if you were like, yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is a thirst trap. Did I trap you? Did it work?
Exactly.
Like, what's wrong with the thirst trap? Like,
exactly.
Like, I like looking at fine women. Right. I'm not even that gay, and I like looking at fine women.
That's how I feel, dude.
On social media.
Me too. You know? I really do enjoy it.
I'll get mesmerized by a good twerking. I think it was like Megan Thee Stallion or someone. I can't remember who it was, but I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, that's nice. I watched the whole video.
Oh, yeah. And it gives you permission. It's like seeing other women give themselves permission to be themselves gives you permission to be yourself. And that's healing. And that's why I do it sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm not super confident about this, but this is my medicine. It's medicine for me because I'm doing it. And it's showing my brain that, because it's like if you're shameful of something and you keep it from showing to others, like if you keep yourself from showing it grows. The shame grows. So if you're shameful of it and then you show it to other people, it's like, even though it's like you're tricking yourself into thinking you actually aren't shameful of it if you do it, because you're allowing that shadow to be seen, and then it comes into the light, and then it's part of the light, you know? So it's just like really cool the way that I've been able to grow in that sense. But I think there's just this like one tiny piece that's still lingering that wants to like creep through. And it's actually, when you were talking about strategies, I think that's what's keeping me from like wanting to hold classes and do things that certain people have told me. They're like, I would love to go to like a dance class that you host, but I have done high school dance. Like I was on that club / team thing, but I've never taken professional dance classes. So for me, it's like makes me think, oh, well, if I'm doing that for others, that means that I am just basically showing them how to like shake their butt. And like, that's not enough.
I am going to do a twerk shop.
Wow. Okay. So
I love twerking and I'm really good at it. And we were doing it this weekend at Goddess Day. And I was like, why don't I do a twerk shop? Like, in the name of feminine expression and openness and embodiment and play and fun and lifting each other up. So this is just further confirming that this is, I gotta get on planning that, because it's so much fun.
You need to do it.
It's so much fun.
I'll do my thing too.
It's healing, for, at least I've seen this written some places, that what's healing for women is twerking. What's healing for men is thrusting. They're two different kinds of like sexual energy movements. And for us, like moving our hips.
I love it so much.
Like shaking it.
Yes. And I love this because as a young girl, like 16 years old, was getting more into my body and like really understanding like, actually, I didn't understand shit, but it was like finally accepting that I was like, you know, a sexual human. So I, though, instead of, because I was so constricted and like did not embody my sexuality at all, I would say at that point, really, maybe a little bit, but I felt like I needed to show that side of myself only through sex. And at that age, obviously, I was not really meeting like people that were super aligned to like my true self. And so I just would like give this part of myself and this experience to, I don't want to say give, but I would kind of like just be a victim to that in a sense and like be like, okay, well, to feel sexy, I need to do this. And that's why I know it's a part of my mission and just like my goal here on earth to help women see that we can feel turned on literally just by what you said, the hip movements and all of that. And that's why I think it's crazy to judge women for that, because it's like totally normal to like meet a guy at a bar for the first night and go have sex with them in their apartment and tell your friends like, oh yeah. But then like, and I'm saying normal in terms of society, but then like posting a video on an Instagram of you moving your hips could be seen as like more slutty than that. And that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And that's maybe my own judgment, but this is from, you know, what I've noticed.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people share that judgment. And, you know, like we've been saying, that's information about how they relate to themselves. And you will come up against that many times in your life if this is a path that you are taking. We have to know how to hold other people's judgments. You know, like on my Instagram, I talk a lot about God in a way that most people don't talk about God, and of how I left Christianity and spiritually awakened, and how I actually love Jesus. And I love some parts of the Bible, and other parts of the Bible are like really low vibe and like that's not God. And like how Jesus' teachings were so misunderstood, and just everything about Christianity, not everything, but a lot of it is like very fear-based and not actually based in Jesus' teachings at all. So yeah, that triggers a lot of people. I've had people like send me hateful messages. I've had people like comment on messages or on posts. And it's like, yeah, I know that you like this is triggering for you, and you're not at a place in your journey where you see this as truth yet. And that's okay. You don't have to, but also like stop commenting on my shit, or maybe keep like, what else do you have to say? Because it's good for the algorithm. Be like, oh, tell me more. I've actually said that in response before. Been like, interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah. And then they keep commenting.
Oh, I'm going to hell. That's really interesting. What else?
When? Do you know
like,
when?
also, you are hail. You know, sometimes the Midwest just comes out. You are in hail. Because hell is a construct of the mind.
Oh, for
and
sure.
It is when you're living in fear. And like, joke's on you, hell doesn't exist.
Right. Like that Billie Eilish song, all the good girls go to hell. I love that because that line has helped me grow so much.
Really?
Like, I mean, not exactly from her song, but when I've heard her song, I've been like this
the
is
energy
exactly
of it.
why I like have been doing this. Like, it's like all the good girls go to hell means like they like do everything right, which like when you do everything right and have this like white picket fence and like and like this perfect life, it actually is hell in a way, because you're in this like, yeah, like you said, construct that doesn't always fit what you want.
Yeah.
So Anyway.
There's so many ways that we could go with this conversation. I'm like holding back certain thoughts. I'm like, that's going to be another 20-minute tangent.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Something I wanted to say earlier was when you're talking about embodiment, there is a level of action that we have to be taking to embody. So you're exactly right. So as you're posting these videos, it's like, this is confidence in action. So I talk about healing my relationship with social media, which every business person has to do. Every entrepreneur, everyone with a sacred mission has to heal their relationship with social media so that they can share their services in an open and authentic way. And like there are people who are waiting literally for your services and have been looking and looking and looking and looking and haven't found what they need, and they're going to find you, and their entire life is going to change. So I did the inner work for months, probably like 8 months, around healing the fear of rejection, the fear of being seen, the fear of being disliked, the fear of triggering people, like all of it. And then the last piece of that was to start showing up on social media. That's why I did a 30-day live challenge. I'm currently in a 60-day live challenge, just like that I'm putting myself through for my own personal growth and self-leadership. And it's like we always do the inner first and then the outer. The action is the piece that we need for embodiment.
1000%. I love that you're doing the live. I actually think that doing like lives while like dancing instead of just like having to question like, should I post it, should I not? And like I've thought about that, just like doing it on live, and then whoever wants to join can, because it's on live and you're playing a song. So really cool idea. I love that you're doing. I've joined some of them and they're amazing. I love the way that you're just like, oh, the sun is hitting my face in this specific way. Like, is this great or not?
Some sun issues,
right? Here. Or like when you don't love how you look, you're like, I'm gonna have to stare at myself for this. I love
you watch that one.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I need better lighting.
Right?
I was like, well, I deserve to look good. I'm the one who's looking at myself. Like, where else am I gonna look?
Exactly. So it's those things that you doing that, literally, as I mentioned earlier, but it's important. Like, it gives me permission to show up on there and not necessarily always have the perfect thing to say.
Yeah.
Because like you said, what you said hit me, and like I'm still mentioning it like a month later at this point. That shows that it actually like was needed for me. And same with certain other girls where they'll like do a video and I notice they like make faces and stuff. And I do that a lot. And there's been people in my life who have told me like, dude, like, why do you make these like weird faces? You're such a pretty girl. Like, why aren't like hot girls don't make those kind of faces? And I'm like, what?
Like, what
and then
kind of faces?
Literally it's people that I admire that have said this to me. And it's one of those things of like, that's what they believe. So it doesn't have to affect me. And they meant well in a way, even though I don't fully see it. But it took 2-3 other girls doing the same thing and making these silly faces for me to then be like, I can be a hot girl and make faces.
Yeah,
on the camera.
That makes you hotter, in my opinion, because that's authenticity.
Exactly. Like I just cannot talk without with facial express.
Yeah, I used to get Botox and like I got it a few times and I hated it because I was like, I'm so expressive. Sometimes I would be like you can't tell, but I look really compassionate right now. Like my forehead's completely frozen and someone's like telling me something super vulnerable. And I'm like, just so you know, like if I could move my eyebrows, they would be like this. I'm sorry.
I love that. No, thanks for sharing that. That's a huge thing right now too, where like maybe that's why we don't see like as much expressive faces too.
Mm-hmm. Also, just like doing facial massage helps with like wrinkles and stuff. I've been doing that and it's amazing. You don't have to get Botox.
Oh yeah, no, I actually am doing these face massages also. It's like to get rid of the lymph and like it's like a 30-minute massage every day, which I actually have fallen off of a little bit. But when I was doing it every day, like literally everything, like I was snatched in the face.
Yeah,
you don't really need the Botox. So that's a good little note to anybody who thinks that's the only way, which it could be the way. It could be like something you do. But definitely there are other options that aren't as talked about. So really cool.
Okay, so I would love to dial it in. This conversation has been so enlightening. We've gone to so many important aspects and areas. And I know that so many people are going to be served by the things that we have been bringing up. So I want to dial it in and actually go through a healing process with your relationship with shame, your relationship with your sexual expression, because I think that will serve you the most.
Oh my God, it goes so deep. God.
Yeah. So we can go as deep as you want. You know, we can work on the level of the mind, which is deep, but it's not as deep. We can go into somatics or into like a memory that would be a little bit deeper. Do you intuitively have a sense of where we need to travel with this?
In a way, yes. There's like, I just feel like my literal like sexual like experiences started from shame. Like the first time I ever had sex, I'm very much an open book. There's just certain things I've never talked about that I'm like, but I would love to just open up. And so the first time I ever had sex, I was not planning on it. Like I literally like did not want to do that with this person, but I was scared of saying no because I didn't want to be seen as prude because he was the only guy in our high school that had done that. And that meant that another girl from our high school did. And I didn't want to be like more prude than her, I guess. So started with that, but then I was shameful because I didn't want to do it. So then I lied to not only, I mean, I didn't have to tell my family anything, but I lied to like my friends about it and like people like that had asked me like, have you ever done that? You know, I would just like lie. And the worst part of all of this is that and not the worst in that, but in terms of like my own shame, I even lied to the guy that it was my first time. Like I literally pretended that it wasn't my first time because I was shameful of like him thinking that I would do that with him as like my first person. So it just shows like I just had so much shame around this topic in general. Yeah. And that does stem from like in my family and in my culture in general. I don't know if people follow this as much, but it is better if you don't have sex until marriage, you know? So yeah. So it started off as this like weird thing of like all that and whatever. Yeah. So that happened. And then also when I was like 16, 17, I was talking to this guy who was our family friend, and he was 10 years older than me. And we ended up starting to date when I was 18. So it was legal, but like it was clear that we had been talking since I was like younger. And so I had so much shame because we like posted about it and like all our family and everyone knew that we were dating. And like it was just this weird because I had been such a like good little girl. And then now I'm dating this like 28-year-old and I'm 18. Yeah. So then it was very clear to the world, aka the people in my life at that point, that I was this like not so innocent little girl. And so then dated him honestly like for many years after that. And there was a lot of like back and forth with it because I just knew like it couldn't have been it. Like it just started so weird, you know, and I knew that wasn't like the one for me. And so I have detached from that and like I've made peace with it. But even that brings shame because everyone around me sees it as like, oh, you can't forgive him. Like you have to hate him your whole life. And it's like, I literally like forgive it because I'm like, yeah, I was wrong, but I literally dated him for years after that. So clearly I accepted that he talked to me from a young age. And I didn't want him to be my future husband. I didn't think I could trust him with like young girls if I was his wife, but I don't have to hate him and I don't have to have this like shitty like energy towards him. So that brings shame too, you know? So because you brought up shame, like there's just a lot of shame that has followed me around and I don't know exactly where fully it stems from, but a lot of these topics have been weird, you know, and even other relationships that I've been in after that have kind of started from this place of like having to hide or like being like secretive at first with the public and then coming out and being like, oh yeah, we're dating, you know? And so I just sense that there's something about that happens. Like, I don't usually start relationships where it's like, oh yeah, this is completely great. And let's like tell our friends right away. It's always this like thing, like at first that's kind of secretive. So. Okay. So
Would you be comfortable, and we don't have to take this route, but I just want you to check in. Are you comfortable with going to that memory, the first one you shared, and hearing from, how old were you?
A month before I turned 17.
Okay.
I remember because I wanted to wait till I was 17 to have sex at least, and I didn't.
Yeah, I wanted to wait.
The universe being like, nope, you're going to feel like a slut.
That's funny. I wanted to wait till I was 16 and I was 15.
See, it happens for a reason. It's like, why a month before?
Yeah, it was like, it was probably like 4 months before I turned 16, and I was like, 15's too young. But if I'm 16... then I'm not a slut.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, okay, I've heard 16-year-olds who have sex are slutty, so I wait. And then the universe is like, no, let's make this situation with this guy who you barely know. Do it at 16.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll go back to it. I don't mind.
Okay. So I want to drop us in because there's been a lot of mind energy and activity. So I want to drop us in a little bit into the body. So shutting down the eyes momentarily, taking a breath. And just allowing the dust to settle with your energy for a moment, holding space for yourself. Bringing your attention to the rise and fall of the chest. Relaxing the jaw, softening the shoulders, unclenching the belly. And in your mind's eye, seeing a little ball of golden light. And this light grows larger and larger, covering the entire inner vision of your mind. And this light travels down the body, neck, shoulders, arms, following the spine, all the way down the body through the hips, blessing every chakra that it passes, and traveling all the way down as an extension from your spine into the earth. And when you're ready, coming back to the physical body, opening the eyes, looking around the space. Nice. It feels like completely different energy.
Yeah. I literally feel like it's like brighter in there.
So I would like to time travel back to that almost 17-year-old, back to your little 16-year-old. And when you connect with her, where do you see her?
I just see her as so confused. Like, I don't know if this is like in my headspace or not, but what I see is someone who had shame from being sexual, and then shame for not, or for being prude, like I said, you know, like,
Yeah.
From one side of things, like her peers and everyone, she wanted to act a certain way, but then also had the shame of being too much. So then would lie still to her friends about what she had done, you know? So
Yeah.
I do see just like a little shame storm.
Yeah, you know, we get a lot of mixed messages from religion and culture. It's like, you're good and worthy and you're desired if you're like this. You're good and worthy and desired if you're like that. I had very similar entanglement of that as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the route you wanted to go in terms of like where I see her. Like I do see a lot of positivity.
Do you see her in a physical location?
Yeah, like in her car.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like my car was like my freedom. And
when we're tuning in specifically to the energy of shame when it comes to your sexual expression. So it could be like, yeah, when I tune into this, I'm there. I'm in the bedroom with this guy and I don't really want to have sex with him, but like I do and I don't, and it's confusing. Or maybe like you're in your bed afterwards, or maybe you're trying to sneak in the house and you're feeling a lot of different emotions, or maybe you're in your car.
No, I do. Oh my God, the car is really crazy because when I left there, before I left, because I had told him that I had done it before, obviously like it was my first time, so it was like very painful, and I stopped, and then I was like, okay, I have to go now because I didn't want to do it originally, but then I was like, okay, at this point, like I'm actually in pain, so I left, and then the last thing he said was like, that was horrible or something, because it's like, yeah, like literally we didn't do anything. So then I just remember myself in my car just being so just like, what the hell? Like what did I do? Like I just felt so disconnected from myself because it's just like you did this thing to not be judged, but you actually ended up getting more judged.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to have you close the eyes. Being there in the car. And when you connect with her, your 16-year-old, I want to give her the mic, speaking from present first person, and start with the stem sentence, I feel.
This is where my brain's going to want to filter. I feel ashamed and I feel embarrassed because I had sex with a guy that I barely know, and I feel embarrassed that people at school are going to know that I didn't even do a good job. And I also feel so ashamed that the rest of my life, I'm going to have this be my first sexual experience ever, or not sexual, but first intercourse.
Yeah.
And I feel so scared because at this point, I don't even, this is embarrassing right now, but okay. I feel scared that I'm like pregnant or something.
Yeah.
Because at the time I literally didn't know what like had to happen.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel scared to go home because my mom always knows everything, and I'm afraid that she's gonna catch on. I feel gross and just so confused as to what's gonna happen next. I feel really angry with the guy because I told him originally I didn't want to do it, and he convinced me. And that doesn't matter anymore because it's already been done, and I can't unsee it, and I can't not experience it. And I eventually did say it's okay. So it's my choice, and I feel super not accepting of myself right now because I literally did that just so that I wouldn't look bad to another person, but also partly because I'm so scared of saying no, and I kind of don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
And like stick to the no. I usually say no and then change it to a yes right after.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It was really good. Got a lot of good information here.
Oh, good.
Would you be willing for the next 90 seconds or so to drop the story of I feel this because, I feel this because, I feel this because, and just be with the sensation of shame, embarrassment, scared, feel gross. So full permission for your experience here. And staying with the sensation and the emotion. This is safe to feel. It's okay to let this get big if it does. Yeah, good breath. You're doing really good.
It's like, I guess I'm just like feeling like how much of just that experience and a lot of other ones like have really like just been so fear-based. So that's why that's like what came up for me.
Yeah. Does it feel like you were able to connect with the sensation and the emotion without going into the mind and like past and future?
At the end there, that's why I like opened my eyes, because I was getting into the head and like my mind was like, oh my God, like the fact that I did that when like it was just, yeah.
It's like, is there tenderness here right now? Is there any tenderness? Yeah. Where's the tenderness?
Like right here. It's this like soft spot.
About how big is it? Golf ball, baseball?
Golf ball.
Yeah.
It's like a little.
We'll just be with that little soft spot.
But I can share. So were you asking me like how that felt? Like, is that or
more so, I want to help you feel this more, a little bit more fully, because we can talk about all day long, but the healing actually comes from feeling it. And then we can go into understanding or the cognitive aspects.
Yeah.
Is there
I feel
any?
it like here now.
Okay, it's kind
Like
of
coming like that.
moving. If shame, if shame took a position, what would it look like in your body? Would it look like, knees curled up? Would it look like a blanket over your head? What is this energy when you drop into it?
I want to do this
feel
because
like
this happens. It's like a shaking sensation, as weird as it sounds. Like my watch does these noises, but yeah, so it's like a shaking sensation of like, I just want to like shake it out, and I'm just like in a ball, like you said, and I'm like I do that sometimes still when I'm feeling like not just shame, but like insecurity or like whatever it is. I just get into this like.
Okay, and does that help
and it makes
you
me
feel?
In a way, yes, but sometimes I like forget to breathe and it's not good. So
okay, so I just want to do an experiment if you're willing. I want to take your shoes off.
Yes.
And you can kind of push the mic away for a moment and just go into a ball. And I'm even going to set a timer for 90 seconds. And this is just to give you like full permission and safety to feel the shame. Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Really good. Connecting with the breath. Yeah, that's what needed to be accessed. What's present for you right now?
I just like, what like really got me to cry, like what really like erupted that was like, just like how much I've had to like feel like embarrassed about myself. Like it just brought me back to like my parents checking my phone or like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's time we bring your younger one some love. She's ready for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to make her feel good and just like let her know that your future person, even though we can never know if that's even a thing of like who we're meant to be with, but whoever she is worried about disappointing, like will not care that she's not a virgin.
Hi, babe. I'm coming in here to say that if this healing process and conversation is inspiring you, opening your heart, moving you, it's time that we work together. With me by your side, you will become your best partner, parent, lover, and friend. I'll help you heal from your past, unlock what's possible for you, and embody authenticity, confidence, and peace that isn't conditional to good things happening. In the show notes, you'll find the application for private coaching. Fill that out, and I'll let you know if I genuinely think that I can serve you with where you're at and where you're wanting to go. I can't wait to see who you become.
Whatever she's going through is literally like other people's embarrassment and shame, and it's not hers.
Yeah.
Like just to, accept that some things are okay, even if we know that they're mistakes. Like instead of worrying about like what her future self is going to think about like the first person that she ever had sex with and whether that's like okay or like the fact that it ruined like the special, like whatever that is, like is totally fine, and that her future self won't care.
We're going to bring that to her, but first we're going to meet the emotion.
Okay.
Because if we try to advice give without meeting the emotion with emotion first, it just doesn't really land.
So I'll tell her to listen to this after and give her the love.
Like we'll replay this for you after. No, we'll bring it all to her. So, okay. Do you still see her in the car?
Now I see her with a different situation or should I still see her in the car? There's no shit.
Well, it doesn't really matter where you see her. You're going to go and meet her in that place.
Okay, I would love to meet her in her room because...
Okay, beautiful.
This is after a couple situations of like disappointment, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so relaxing the eyelids. And first, I want you to play in your imagination for a moment of people, memories, places where you have felt so heart opened, accepted, loved.
Okay.
And we'll stay here just for a few seconds. Just evoking this love within. And now see before you a door, the door to your room. And you open that door and you see 16-year-old Fjorda saying, I feel ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. I'm scared. I feel gross and confused, and I just don't know how I can ever accept myself. What do you do?
I would just give her a hug.
Yeah. And go over, you swoop her up, give her a hug.
Yeah, I would just like go and hug her and just be like, it's like, I know that she would want me to.
Yeah, speak directly to her.
Yeah, like I understand that you feel these things, and with your environment right now, that's just how you're gonna feel, maybe for a bit, and also allow her to
speak directly to her.
Yeah, so you. I feel like out of all of this work, this is the hardest for me because it's like
I'll
I want to like
judge.
Yeah, I want to like judge what I'm saying to her and like all these things, but basically I just want to tell her like, dude, it's okay. And I accept that you feel these things, and I hear you, and I don't want to slam the door on you. I want to be here with you and actually accept you in this shame and accept you in this embarrassment. And you don't have to be anything else for me to think you're worthy, and for me to know that despite being ashamed, you are still all the amazing things.
Yeah.
And that you being ashamed, I'll say, you being ashamed does not mean that you are a disappointment.
So scale from 0 to 100, how fully is she receiving this love?
She's receiving it, I think 100%, because, well, I don't know, but from like what I remember feeling is like so icky from that disappointment that I would have loved to hear someone let me know that it's okay to feel that icky and you don't have to feel anything else to still accept yourself. Yeah. And still know that what you did is like just what you did. And it's not, it's just a choice. It's not like a mistake or not. It's just a choice that brings you to this awareness now, and that's it.
Yeah. How complete does she feel? Does she feel like that's enough? That's all I need?
No, because her reality in that moment was being affected based on that. So like my parents knew stuff or whatever, it like would affect her life, like where she can't go places, or she had really like lost the trust of her family and some of her friends. So
okay, so I'm gonna give you a few sentences to say to her, and you can change or modify anything to make it more resonant for what it feels like she needs to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So speaking from love directly to her. And is there any nickname or like little name that she liked to be called? Even if it was just like sweetheart or honey.
Sweetheart's good.
Okay. Sweetheart, I know you feel ashamed.
Sweetheart, I know you feel ashamed.
And I know you feel embarrassed.
And I know you feel embarrassed.
I know you feel scared and gross and confused.
Yeah. And I know you feel embarrassed and super confused and gross and a disappointment.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that you've been feeling this way for so long.
And I'm so sorry you've been feeling this way for so long.
And I'm so sorry that I haven't known how to be with you and help you.
And I'm sorry that I haven't known how to help you and how to be with you through this.
But I'm here now.
And
I'm not leaving.
And I'm not leaving ever.
And you don't have to be any different for me to love you.
And you don't have to be any different for me to love you and accept you.
And what else does she need to hear from love? You don't have to prove yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to prove yourself and act a certain way to be liked by others
or to be liked by me.
You do not have to be anything other than what you are for me to love you. And you don't have to seek for other people's approval, because if you try to seek for other people's approval, what could happen is that they still might not approve you, and then you're stuck with this self that you don't even know. So just keep following your own desires, and just like hang in there, and don't allow other people's limiting beliefs to steer you from your own light. And I would say that the shadow is just as important as the light from what I know. So I'll stick with you through that discovery.
Yeah, what just came in for me is you didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. Really. You just did something.
You made a decision.
Exactly.
And that's okay. I still love you.
I still love you so much. And I'm grateful for you, because it's your rebellious nature that has pushed me through so many hard moments, and who has helped me get closer to myself too.
Beautiful. And how is she receiving this love now?
So good.
Yeah.
I literally feel it in my chest of this like connection to her, and just this like, just like us like holding hands.
Is there anything that she wants to say in return?
I feel like she wants to tell me that it's not that easy, but also that she has hope, because her reality right now does not have any of this conversation. So
I
it gives her hope.
I wonder if you like left the room with her, if you were like, come on, let's go. I can bring you into my life now. It's way better.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to California. Let's go and go to a music festival together.
Yeah, it's like you
don't have to be 21
me.
for that.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like that's the reason I wanted an older sister, is I thought that like I would get this kind of conversation. That's how I know that this is super healing for that, because it's like I really am giving her hope. That just keeps coming up for me, because it's like this desire to keep embracing who I am. And
so I want you to imagine that she's with you in your apartment now. And she goes to school with you. She goes to work with you.
Wow.
She's with you now.
We did it.
Yeah.
For real, like that girl would not. I mean, in a way, she'd be like, I knew it, but like she would not literally be able to like fathom my life right now. Like, it's just, I just feel like she manifested this for me, and I'm super grateful for her.
Beautiful.
I'm so grateful for her.
So beautiful. Now, to just bring this to a close, how do you show up on your Instagram and your content with her feeling whole and held? What changes with how you express yourself?
I love this question. I don't want to say I don't. I just think that at this point, even just right now, I feel so much more like in a relationship with myself, in the sense of like, instead of my mind wandering of like how it'll be perceived, and I've been doing this a bit, but it's like I think about my younger self and how she deserves a space to feel safe. And
okay, dial it in a little with Instagram. Posting a video
of myself embodying.
What changes?
Okay. I will not judge myself anymore. Is that not honed in enough?
Maybe. Does that feel true for you?
Yes.
From this wholeness. It's like, oh, I press post and I feel expansive. I feel good.
Exactly.
I feel free.
I feel liberated, and I feel like I'm doing a service to myself and the parts of myself that have felt judged by me. Mm-hmm. And on Instagram, I am going to own who I am more than I have. And I'm not going to even think about, I mean, it could come up, but I'm not going to entertain the thought of what other people are going to think about it.
And if they do, we embrace that part and give her love, because what she's looking for is your acceptance.
Yes. And I'm going to be grateful that despite so honing it in again on Instagram, when I'm posting or any other platform, it's like, I'm going to feel grateful that despite having possible thoughts of doubt, it's not going to affect my freedom. Because there was one point in my life where if something caused shame and embarrassment, I was young and I had to follow other people's rules, and now I don't. So I'm going to feel grateful that I don't have to do that anymore. And
beautiful. What a good session.
That was super good. I feel amazing, honestly.
Good.
Yeah. So you think I shouldn't judge myself?
We'll talk about it. Okay. Thank you.
I'm joking. Okay. Thank you. And I couldn't be more grateful to have been here and to use my voice to speak.
Mwah.
Mwah.